Hello everybody, Iain Robson here. Welcome to another episode of Project Cars. So today we are racing, what are we? We are in a Renault Megane, or Magane, RS265, and we are racing in, I forget what the class is here. But that's what we're racing on. We're up against Audi A1s, Mercedes-Benz, A45 AMGs, so that's what we're up against here. Should be an interesting little race. This is a very bizarre race, actually. Just because the way it's not as many turns. There's like kind of like some long straightaways, and it's kind of a really strange way of setting up the course here. And I think it's funny in this particular car. I find that the AI is a little too low, but in other cars, not so much at all. Like other cars, I find that they're like, depending what it is, it's usually cars with a turbo. These front-wheel drive cars are pretty easy to drive. In comparison to some of the other ones, but that's what I find at least. I think it's just because the way they pull around a corner as opposed to the rear-wheel drive cars. Might just be me though, I don't know. But I'm actually not terrible at it. This is a really bizarre turn. You think you're going to go straight, but you don't. I don't know what they call this, a chicane maybe or something. But the first time I practiced this course, I totally ran right into that barrier. It was pretty funny actually. So we were able to get pulled position number 1 for the qualifying. This is the actual race itself, like I said. And this is a Renault Megane, and it seems to work fairly well. I'm probably pretty heavy on the brakes because we're only doing like 4 laps in this particular these races. I find that you can be really rough on your car. Rougher than you would normally if you were in a longer race. Because in a longer race, you wouldn't want to be this rough on your tires, I think. Because I'm really squealing them around the corners and whatnot. So in this scenario, it's perfectly all right. But if you were to do an actual race, it would be they would probably tell you to ease off on your tires. I'm fairly certain of that actually. So all right. Now the key I found is as soon as you see this barrier, just let off the gas because you don't want to run into it, basically. And it's not like a rear-wheel drive car where when you have a rear-wheel drive car, if you gun it around the corners like that, the tail end will whip out, but in these cars it's perfectly fine. You can just hammer it and it's fine, basically. So apparently that lap was 8 seconds faster. So like that turn right there, you see how hard I was on the brakes there, and then how hard I was on the gas? If you're doing a longer race, like a Le Mans 2400 or something, or 24 hours, you would, the mechanics would just be like, what are you doing? So, anyhow. But as you can see, I'm way out ahead. I was able to, actually 106 is my fastest lap so far that I've been able to do. The other laps I've done, fastest I got was I think 107. But that was in the rain in qualifying, so. And these cars are a lot easier to drive, and so this is that turn. So like that's why I said you got to be really careful. Ugh. Especially if you're like me and you get a little too excited around some of those bends. But yeah, I don't know how far the next. I have no idea how far the next person is, but this gives you an idea of some of the information on my car. About how heavy the brakes are, or how hot the brakes are and stuff. That's what I get for looking at the information. But look at this mistake I just made, and no one has passed me yet. Just to give you an idea of how far ahead I am right now. There we go. Oh, well, there they are. But still in the first position somehow. I don't know how that happens in this game, but they're really rough. Like they will like bang into you like that. So that's one of the reasons why I have the damage turned off, just because they are likely to run into you like a lot. It seems like, at least. And here we have some rain again. I don't know if we have racing slicks or all season or wet tires. This will be interesting if we have slicks on. But you can really get around some of these turns pretty fast with a front-wheel drive car. Rear wheel you have to be way more careful with. because if you gun it around those turns like that, the tail end will just whip out, where the front end just pulls you forward. That's the difference there. And I think that chicane we just went through at the back there, oh, we're still first? Wow. I'm really surprised about that. Like I said, for this car, I need to turn up the difficulty, but for other ones, it's perfectly alright, even with that mistake, looking through all the information and whatnot. So, there you go, folks. My race time was 4:51, even with that enormous mistake, and the fastest person next to me was 4:53, so I was 2 seconds faster, just to put it into perspective. So, there it is, a road C2 class is what we are in. I'm not sure the difference between a C2 and a C1 is, but there you go. Alright, folks, that is it for me for today. Another race in Project Cars. Having a good time in this game. I don't know, I got so into it lately. So, anyways, my name's Iain Robson. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, why don't you go ahead and hit that subscribe button for some more Project Cars. So there's that qualifying time I had. I guess it was same time. Alright, and now we're going off to the championships apparently. Sweet. Excellent. Catch you guys later.